Testing. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Roam with Romy. Today's video is going to be a little kind of, I guess you could say, a New Year's resolution video slash motivation video. And the reason why I wanted to make this video, actually, to be honest with you all, I've kind of struggled with this video a lot because I didn't know which direction I wanted to go. And I also wanted to give you guys the real on how my journey has been in Korea. As you all may know, I've been in Korea for quite some time now. This year, 2021, is hitting on 4 years. And y'all, I made it. Never would have made it at my moment. It's been a long and hard road. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but all I can say is the 4 years weren't breezy. They were probably some of the most difficult moments that I've had in my life. I've been tested physically, mentally, and spiritually, and emotionally as well. And I made it. And I can say without a doubt that this journey that I've taken in Korea has definitely made me so much stronger than before. I think before I had an idea of who I was, but I really learned who I was while I was here. And God really humbled me. Yeah, I made it, in spite of everything. So 4 years in Korea. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. Your idea of what it's like to be in Korea versus the reality of what it's like to be in Korea are completely different. And I want to make this video because for me, being here 4 years, I've gotten to the point where it's like, what's next? And I know that there are a lot of other really talented, popular YouTubers that make it look so easy, and God bless them, because I wish that it was easy for the majority of us. But to be honest with you, life is what you make it. It's not all roses. Sometimes you're gonna have your moments where you feel like you're on cloud 9 and you're limitless and you've made the best choice in your life, and yeah, like coming to Korea was the best thing that ever happened to me. And then sometimes you're gonna get homesick, sometimes you're gonna feel like you just want to give up, sometimes you just want to cry. It hit different, y'all. Like, I'll be real with y'all, it hit different when you can't see your family. It hits different when you can't take a flight on a whim. We've all been struggling with adjusting to C-19. And prior to C-19, I think what kept me together was the fact that I could see my family once a year. So for me, it was like, okay, even though I spend months out, I could just travel. If I ever feel like I'm too stuck in Korea, or I feel like things are getting really mundane, I could just take the first flight out, boop, and just do my thing. But with COVID, with all these lockdowns and shutdowns and everything, it's like, it be hitting different, y'all. I can't just escape no more. I gotta deal with my real problems here. And I will say that I've been able to adjust to COVID because of my faith. I pray, I talk to my family at least once or twice, sometimes 3 times a week to keep my sanity. And I have a good support system in Korea. I will say though that being here long term, now 4 years later, I'm realizing that there's more that I want to accomplish. When you first come to Korea, your first, I would say, 2 years are really great. It could be bad for some people, I'm not gonna lie. For some people, they really never get the good part. Like, some people, they come here and it's just a nightmare. I'm not gonna even front on that. I'll be honest with you guys, some people come here and they just hate it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But however, if you're one of those people that end up liking it, for the first 2 years is gonna be a little hard. That's when it's really challenging because you're adjusting, you're trying to integrate, you're trying to learn a language, you're trying to understand your environment, and you're also thrust into a new job or a new school. It gets to be overwhelming. However, after the first 2 years, then it really sets in that, okay, I can either make this my home or I can go back home and just take what I've learned in Korea and apply it to my future endeavors, or continue some goals outside of Korea, maybe in another country. The thing is, for me, when I first came here, to be honest with y'all, my whole point was either work or school. I knew that I wanted to go to grad school. That was not an option for me of not going to grad school. That was my goal. I knew I wanted to go to grad school, whether it be in Korea or in Canada, it was going to happen. My long-term goals, when I first came to Korea, my whole outlook was so different than now. I was basically living in a way where I was just trying to better myself. I was just trying to improve my health and my spiritual life, and I was on a fast. I was fasting from men. I fasted from everything. I was just not dealing with people. I was just on a more of an internal journey and trying to get myself back to who I was, trying to get myself to the core essence of Romy and who Romy is, and the woman that God wants Romy to be, the person that I believe that I was deep down inside, but through years of just toxic environments and toxic work environments and just being put in a pressure cooker back home, I didn't really get to develop her. So I spent my first 2 years developing me. And now that I've been developed enough, and now that I feel like that's another thing I could tell you guys, once you develop yourself, I'm telling you, all of the most greatest things happen afterward, because you truly know who you are and your value. And when you know that, is the most enriching experience. It's such a great honor to know who you are, and it's such a great feeling to know that no matter what anyone says, they can't break you, because you know who you are and the value of who you are. With that being said, I had worked the first 2 years on who I was, and now the latter 2 years I've just been working on growing myself more financially and stable, like having more of a financial and stable lifestyle. So I don't know if it's because I'm old, y'all, but things that used to excite me before don't excite me no more. I'm not as young as some of y'all think I am. I know some of y'all, I could be your sister, your older sister. I could be your auntie. And I could be some of y'all moms. So I'm a bit older. Things just change, like the perception of what you thought you wanted versus what is good for you. And before, I'm telling you, I was the most like flight person. Like I was like, I was flaky. People used to just call me flaky because I was just, I don't know if it's a thing of me or it's just how I am, but I just couldn't stay in one place at one time. I mean, I've lived in so many cities. I've always moved. I'm always on the go. I'm always moving to a new place. And I don't mean a new city. Even within a city, I'm like having different apartments and moving different places. And I've never been stable. I've always switched up. And I think for once in my life, I want to be stable. And if you're the type of person who wants to search for stability when you're living in Korea, I definitely think that you should think about this. If you want to live in Korea long term, where do you eventually want to settle down? If you have goals, like for me, this year I really want to save. I want to save a lot of money and start investing. I want to get my investing mindset up so high, because I think that I've worked so much on my emotional side, and now it's time for the financial side to be on the up and up. I still have student loan debt that I need to pay off. I just want to start saving for my nest egg, for my retirement. I want to start saving for emergency funds. I want to start saving for just the future, start investing, start learning about stocks, start learning about just different ways to invest my money. Not just stocks. I mean, there are mutual funds, there are index funds. There are so many things that you can invest your money in, but I'm looking into different alternatives. I want to be able to work for myself. I want to be able to live a lifestyle where I'm not pressured as much as I was in corporate Canada, because to be honest with you guys, that's where I'm headed if I don't get myself together, and I still haven't gotten myself together in that aspect yet. So that's gonna be my new journey in 2021, is getting myself financially on the up and up, getting myself into a better financial position and for me and my future generation. So also another thing is that it's my last semester of grad school. The journey is over, y'all.
No, because I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. Alright, I'm tired. I don't care about what you. I don't care about none of what you saying about.
Like, this is it. What am I going to do afterwards? You know? I mean, I know what I'm going to do afterwards. Y'all just don't know. But the journey after grad school is kind of a little scary because I'm gonna be losing people. People are gonna leave. Like, all my friends that I've known for the past few years, that's the thing about living in Korea, is that some of them stay and some of them move on, and you don't know the next time you're gonna see them. I already have some friends who have left already, and it's so sad every time I have to say a goodbye, because it's like, man, like, this is like really, it's not as stable as back home, where it's like most of the core people that you know, they're gonna stay there because, hello, it's where you're from. But here, everyone's transient. Living that transient life, it can get to you after a while. So that's something that I definitely have to push through for the next year. What else? I would say I'm gonna definitely work on my health. I'm taking my health way more seriously now. I was before, and I definitely have had some slip-ups where I don't go as hard as I used to. But this year, I definitely want to get rid of this gut. This gut been here for a minute, y'all. I'm tired of this gut. Like, it just be so hard, man. Like, this gut been here forever. I don't ever remember having a flat stomach. Even when I was younger, 8 years old, I still had a gut. I remember wearing my little tank tops and my gut just poking out. So I definitely want to get rid of this gut. I want to adopt a more healthier lifestyle. I've been definitely eating cleaner, I would say. I'm not all the way there. Sometimes I have little slip-ups. It's them snacks. Them snacks be so good here. But I definitely have to up my game. I have to step my game up when it comes to exercising. And granted, COVID does put a damper on things, but it's still not an excuse. I can still exercise. So I'm definitely going to be more cognizant of this and get my health up, because the sister getting older, boobs sagging, stomach sagging, cellulite sagging, booty sagging, everything sagging, y'all. So I gotta get back up on it. And I also want to just live a happy life. That's my goal. My goal is to not work for money, but to make money work for me, and to live a happy life, and to be able to afford my lifestyle. That is it. I was a college dropout. I dropped out of college at 21, and then I worked in corporate Canada for, like, I would say 8 years. And then I decided to go back to school only because I got really sick and I was so stressed out. And y'all, gray started coming out my head when I was 26. Look at that. Like, I got gray hair here. Y'all can't see it here, but I have gray hair. And that came from the stress of working a corporate 9 to 5. And I was really stressed out. I had no motivation. I was basically crying all the time. I was depressed as hell. You know, my family members can attest to that. Like, I was just grinding so hard and not getting any type of satisfaction from what I was doing. I was making money. I mean, I was making good money for my age, but I still felt so unfulfilled, and I felt like I was stuck in life. For me personally, I'm just trying to live a really healthy lifestyle. So being healthy and exercising and also financially healthy is on my list. And also another thing is spiritually healthy. Now, that's another touchy subject. I was going hard for the Lord when I first came to Korea. Let me tell y'all something. Nothing gets you more dependent on God until it all comes crashing down, okay? So I was like super like spiritually awakened my first 2 years of coming in Korea. And then it started to dwindle off a little bit, I would say. So I got to get back on that. And I can't blame COVID entirely for that. That's just me personally. Like, you know, you do go through your ebbs and your flows when you're spiritual. Sometimes you'll just be super spiritually woke. And then sometimes you just practically a heathen. So I'm just Just gonna try to read my word, get myself back on track, get myself like spiritually snatched, financially snatched, and physically snatched. That's just what my goals are for 2021 in Korea. And yes, I will be staying in Korea for another few years. Now another thing I will say is that I'm gonna have to sacrifice my career for now. My bachelor's degree was in political science, and my master's degree is in international business with a minor in international relations. Now the thing is that in Korea, unfortunately, unless I happen by chance to get to work in a company or for an organization, it's just not gonna happen. My Korean level skills are not up there yet, and also even if they were, understandably they would want to hire a Korean person first before looking at a foreigner. That's just the reality of living here. That's another thing that I have to mention, is that if you're planning on living here long term, you definitely got to think about your career options. So is your career something that is very, very important to you? For me, it is important, but not to the extent of me having to go back home and doing it now. I can definitely wait another few years in order for me to start, because my career option is just an option for me. Like, there are other things that I want to accomplish as well. However, for other people, it might be something very important to you. Maybe you just can't see yourself doing anything but your career. So that's another thing that I didn't really think about, I would say, when I first came, because I was like, hey man, I'm gonna be teaching and that's just what it is. But now that I'm about to graduate and I have to go back into the real world, and I'm not a teacher. I mean, I am a teacher in the sense that, like, I love teaching people, but I'm just not that kind of like I would say traditional teacher, quote unquote. Teaching is not my career. It's not my career path. It's not the only thing that I've ever seen myself doing. And it can be hard. Like, it can be hard and draining if you're doing this year in, year out. I know some people who've been here 10 years plus and they're still teaching. It's like the only box that you're in here. That's another thing I should talk about. Here, you're put in boxes. So it's either you're a student, you're a teacher, you can be a professional too, but there are levels to this. It's not as easy as people make it seem. And a lot of people that are tired of teaching and are tired of having their visa tied to their job try to get the long-term residency visa, which is the F2. However, it's getting extremely more difficult to get, and you just have to be very competitive with it. So that's another thing that you have to think about long-term if you're planning on staying in Korea. And I definitely have to think about what my goals are as far as that. And to be honest with you guys, I'm staying here longer, but that doesn't mean that it's something that a lot of people can do. I would say definitely think about that. But as for me, I'm gonna be here for a little bit longer, so you guys are gonna see a little bit more of my journey, my ups and my downs. And I definitely want to be super transparent with you all and show you guys the roses and the thorns, everything that is great and bad about living in Korea, long term and for the long run. So my advice to you all who want to come out here, especially during COVID or post-COVID, whether it's now or in the near future, is definitely get a plan going. Don't just come here and be like, my life is set, my life is great, I'm in another country and I can escape my problems. Baby, them problems gonna come and follow you. So don't come here as an escape plan to escape your life back home, and definitely don't come here thinking that everything's gonna be all peaches and roses, because it ain't gonna be. There are gonna be some great times, there are gonna be some trying times, and there are gonna be some hard times. Just like with everything in life, there's a balance. So I don't want anyone to get tricked into thinking that everything is so rosy and oh my god, it's so great and I just gonna be here and I'm gonna be able to just flourish. Yeah, maybe your first 2 years is gonna be great, but then after that, things get old really quickly, and you just gotta be able to really have a set plan of what you want, how you're gonna get there, and what Korea can do for you, and what you can develop while you're here, because you have a lot of downtime here. That's another thing that I want to mention, is there's so much downtime. So there's kind of no excuse to not better yourself or improve your situation, whether it be financially, spiritually, emotionally, or whatever. Sometimes in society, as women, we're told that at this time we're supposed to get married, settle down, have houses, have cars. You're supposed to be this place in your career. And I was none of that. You know, at that time when I was in Toronto, imagine, I was struggling. And yeah, I did have opportunities to grow within my career, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. And I chose the best life that I knew would work for me, because I am a creative person. I'm free-spirited. I don't like to be controlled and bound by societal expectations. I never have, and I never will be. Whatever your lane is, then I would say go for it. Don't let family or society or anyone else dictate what your life is supposed to be like, because you have this innate drive in you to do something with yourself, and there's a purpose in you that God designed for you and only you. So I'm just a firm believer in whatever you're doing in life, if it's your purpose, you're gonna be satisfied. Even if it doesn't 100% go the way that you want it to, it's still going to fulfill you. So definitely use your time wisely, use your money wisely, and do things that are going to better you for your future wherever you end up in life. So those are my tips, and that's my advice for those who want to stay here long term. As for me, the journey continues, y'all. I don't even know what's going to happen. All I know is I'm graduating this year, and there are going to be so many new and exciting things happening, and also some sad moments, you know, having to say goodbye to people. But also I'm excited for 2021, because 2020 was just 2020, y'all. Throw that whole year away. So 2021, we're trying to be on a different vibrational frequency. We're trying to do things, and I think that 2021 is definitely going to be better for a lot of us. And some of us who are still struggling, I'm with you. You know, just know that there are better days. There's always sunshine after the rain. I know I sound so cliche right now, but it's really true. You're not going to stay in the hard times for too long. There's always a rainbow after the rain. Why do I sound so cheesy? But anyways, on that note, I want to thank you all so much. Seeing that I've gotten a lot of new subscribers, and also people watching and commenting on my videos, thank you so much for your support. You guys don't even understand, like, starting YouTube for me was just about my journey, and that's what it always will be about. But it's great to know that my videos have touched some of you guys, and definitely any questions you have, you can always comment below or send me a DM, email me. I will tell y'all though that I'm not really good with social media. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not really a social media person. So you're not gonna see me posting a lot on social media, and I don't think that will ever change, to be honest with you. But just know that I hear you, I see you. I really love the engagement that I've been having on my channel lately, and I love the fact that a lot of you guys reach out to me, which I really love, and I love helping you all as well. I hope you all are working on your New Year goals and resolutions, and hell, if you don't have one, that's okay. I hope that everyone is able to accomplish what they've set out for this year. And until next time, take care of yourselves, and bye.